Hi guys, my name is Niladri Mukherjee and I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. I practice here in Guelph, Ontario. I'm also the founder director of Nuvonation Immigration Consulting, based out of here in Guelph as well. So, can I get a job offer in Canada? Will you be able to help me to get a job offer in Canada? Or can I come to Canada with a job in hand? These are all the permutations and combinations of it are probably the most commonly asked questions to all the immigration consultants or lawyers by probably from people all over the world, but this trend is visibly more prominent amongst the people who are coming from Asia, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and all those countries, right? So here in this video, I thought to dissect, a little bit about the myth of having a job offer in Canada before you come to Canada, and what are the things that you should avoid at all cost, and is it really possible to get a job offer in Canada, right? So let's just deep dive a little bit into it. So first of all, why a job offer in Canada is that important? It is important because if you have a valid job offer in Canada from a Canadian employer while you being outside Canada, you get it's sort of your easy path to your permanent residency by getting a provincial nomination and hence the 600 points, right? We all know it. If you get a job offer in Canada and if you're not interested to move to Canada permanently, there is also a possibility for you to apply for a temporary residence permit, such as your work permit, based on that job offer if the job offer is valid. Hence, a job offer is really the center stage of everything. Now, let's first of all understand one basic thing, guys, right? I get this question quite a lot that, help me to move to Canada by any means. I can be a fruit picker, I can be a janitor, I can be a loader unloader, I can do anything for you, even though I have a background in, for example, a construction background. I have a background in civil engineering, even I'm an MBA, yet I'm ready to do anything. I'm ready to take up literally any job because I want to move to Canada. Now, this desperation has really led to all those immigration scandals and immigration frauds. So first and foremost, it's very important for all of us to really understand that not all job offers from a Canadian employer can either lead to your work permit or lead to your permanent residency, right? So this is something that you should understand it very well. For example, a Canadian employer would really not take the botheration of going through a labor market impact assessment to hire a janitor from outside Canada. Because a job offer is really nothing if you're not able to utilize that job offer either to get a temporary residence visa, such as your work permit, or your permanent residency, to get an immigrant visa. So we really have to understand that a job offer has to be a valid job offer in order for you to apply under any of those programs. That is the first and foremost a very important thing that we should all have in our mind. Secondly, it is possible to get a job offer from a Canadian employer while you're in outside Canada, but as I have said it before, it is extremely difficult to have one. It is not that we don't have labor market shortage here in Canada. We do, and after the pandemic, now that the economy has started opening up slowly and steadily, the employers need skilled resources the most. Having said that, please try to put yourself into employer shoes and try to figure out a situation. You are, for example, you're sitting there in India, right? I am sitting here in Canada. I really do not know anything about you, anything about your background, whether you are a criminal or not, right? Whether you have committed any crime in the past or not. How would you be able to accustom yourself in a new country, in a new city, in a new weather, in a new work environment, most importantly? So, and for me to understand all those things is to meet you in person, is to make sure we are able to work together. But to make that happen, I have to give you a job offer, and then based on that job offer, you have to apply either for your permanent residency or your work permit, and only then you will be able to come to Canada. So I will take all the pain for you, and what if you come to Canada and leave me in the next 5 days saying that I don't like you, right? So this is the psychology that employer has, all the employers have. before they will issue a labor market impact assessment or anything of that sort, or before they would be willing to even think about giving a job offer to a foreign national who are sitting outside Canada. And this is quite natural. This is quite normal, right? Try to understand. Employers are mostly the private businesses. They are profit-centric businesses. They need a resource to join them as soon as possible or within a reasonable time frame for them to perform, to do their operations flawlessly. Even if they give you a job offer, what if they wait for 3 months, 4 months, and then immigration rejects your work permit application, right? So having a job offer and getting a work permit application approved or getting a permanent residency, visa approved, it's not directly correlated, because immigration will then review your application in a different way, their own way, their own legal ways. And there is a possibility that you get a valid job offer from Canada, from a Canadian employer, while you being an outside Canada, and then immigration finds out that you are criminally inadmissible. Or if everything is all right, you may not have done your work permit application correctly and hence they reject your visa. Then who is at a loss? Predominantly the employer, right? Who really needs the employee. And now even after he has spent all the money and time and resources and everything, he still not yet have the employee joining him because his work permit is rejected. So these are the psychological hindrances that employers have, I would say majority of the employers have, before they even think of hiring a foreign national, right? For example, I immigrated to Canada like 3.5 years back, and when I got my first job, the first thing that the employer asked me, do you have a legal status in Canada? Because I'm not going to apply for all the LMIs and everything for you. And even if you go through all the job applications, majority of the job applications that are either available in LinkedIn or Indeed or like whatever platform that you talk about, there should be one line that you should pay consideration of. And that line says, that is an employer requirement. And that line says that you should be legally allowed to work in Canada. You should have a legal status in Canada, right? In a nutshell, employers really do not like to hire a foreign employee in the first place. That is a possibility. There are still LMIs, happening on a regular basis. Employers do hire foreign resources only in absolute situation where they are not able to get either a Canadian residence or a permanent resident, either a Canadian permanent resident or a citizen or anybody that is legally allowed to work in Canada to work for them. So that is the myth about, like the Canadian employers hiring foreign nationals. Now, even if they want to hire you, do understand that the recruitment process takes a very, very long time in Canada. Easily few months, if not few weeks, right? That really, they will have multiple rounds of interview with you, and then they will have their own ways of shortlisting you. And ideally, they would like to have a video conference or meet you in person before they would shell out the offer letter. So this is really a long process that you are looking at. And oftentimes I get to hear that, I just undergone one interview and that, I got shortlisted and like, here is the offer letter. Is it a genuine offer letter or not? Okay. This is not how things work in Canada. So let's just backtrack a little bit and try to find out what you should avoid while you search jobs from outside Canada. So first of all, will you search jobs from outside Canada? You can. Is it really a possibility? Sure it is. Is it really a difficult thing to do? Extremely difficult, okay? But even if you still want to do it, let's just try to do things properly, okay? Let's just try to do things in a manner that really channelizes your effort in the right direction. First of all, do understand, recruitment services in Canada and the immigration consultants here in Canada are regulated differently. I am regulated by the Immigration Consultants of Canada Regulatory Council, but I am not allowed to perform recruitment services here in Canada. So an immigration consultant, that gives you a sort of a joint retainer saying that we will also help you with the job, we will also help out with the guaranteed work permit and whatnot. That is your first sign of scam, and that gives you the alert that you should stay away, right? Anybody that is performing recruitment services here in Canada are not legally allowed in 99% of the times to charge money from the candidate, right? So if somebody approaches you saying that, I am the recruitment consultant and I'm looking for foreign nationals, you should clear this on the very beginning that I'm not going to pay you any money because you're being paid by the employer. It's not that these guys are doing things for free. They are not, nobody is, but they are being paid by the employer. It's a similar way that the mortgage agents work in Canada. If I want to take a mortgage, if I approach a mortgage broker, the mortgage broker will not charge me any professional services fee for the services that they will render to me. Instead, they will be paid by the bank, right? So again, they are not doing things for free, but they are being remunerated by the different authority, which is a bank in this case. So nobody should charge you money for you to get a job in Canada. I'm not really talking about getting a guaranteed job offer from a Canadian employer, but even for the service, nobody should charge you money. They should be compensated by the employer if they are a genuine recruitment agency. So anybody that approaches you saying that, I will help you with a guaranteed job offer and whatnot, you should probably stay away. Number 2, and this is most important, when it comes to immigration and visas to Canada, there is no such term called guarantee and assurance and surety and all those things, right? I get a lot of emails, I will pay you my professional services fee only if you guarantee my permanent residency application or guarantee my work permit application. I said, thank you very much. I will not be able to guarantee you anything because by law, I am not allowed to provide you any sort of guarantee. If anybody provides you with any sort of guarantee, that is a sign of scam. Because by law, nobody is legally allowed to provide any sort of, even use the term guarantee, warranty, assurance, surety, and all those things in their whole discussion with the foreign candidate, right? So anybody providing you with a guarantee and warranty, you should stay away. Thirdly, and most importantly, as I have already mentioned, Canadian employers, 99% of them would undergo a very thorough evaluation process. Multiple rounds of interviews, multiple rounds of written tests if required, and whatnot. They will do a thorough background check and everything. This process takes weeks, if not months. So cracking one interview and you do not really even know who has taken your interview. It may be that consultant has posed as a so-called immigration, so-called employer and has taken your interview. So those sort of sketchy, very easy interviews are the signs that you are being part of that fraud. Stay away. It's a very rigorous process that is being followed by almost everybody here in Canada before they could even think of sending you an offer letter, right? Whenever a recruitment consultant or an immigration consultant approaches you saying that, here are the requirements that the employer has, I think you are matching those requirements, so let's just apply for it. Go to the employer's website and see if that employer, first of all, really exists. That is very important. And secondly, if they do, just verify with them if they really have that kind of job opening for foreign nationals, right? Because majority of the Canadian employers will look for employees, the potential employees who are already in Canada. Go to their website, call them, email to the HR department, and just verify all those things before being part of any of those interviews and whatnot. And firstly and most importantly, employers or the recruitment consultant who are the genuine recruitment consultant, right? They would prefer to talk to or coordinate with the candidate directly rather than going through any of those immigration agents or lawyers or consultants, right? So if an immigration consultant telling you that I know some recruitment consultant who will give you a guaranteed job offer, that is a sign of fraud. It's most likely the immigration consultant is not licensed, and most likely there is no such immigration consultant. It might just end up being like a fake website, right? Always coordinate with the employer directly if such opportunity exists. If not, do your due diligence, do your research, do everything properly before even sharing your CVs on your personal information, such as your passport. I receive a lot of passport and whatnot. Here is my passport. I have a valid passport. I need a job offer from Canada. Guys, do not share your passports with anybody over the internet, right? Another thing, always see whether you're receiving the communication emails, your interview emails and everything from the recruitment consultant, or if it's from the employer, just make sure they use the corporate email address. right? For example, anything.com, anything.ca. It should not be like a gmail.com or a yahoo.com. When I communicate with my clients, I always use my official email ID. I never use my personal email ID for any official communication. So always make sure that you're receiving the emails or any form of communication, be it for interview, be it for anything else, even the first level email should be from the official email address. It should not be from a personal address or sounds like an official address, but yet from a Gmail or any other email service provider for that matter. It has to be official. Now, these are all the don'ts. Again, try to understand, guys. I do not want to sound too negative here, but I thought it's very, very important for me to break this myth to save you guys, because all of you know that you should not pay any money to anybody that sells you a job offer in Canada, because this is a crime. Yet I see a lot of foreign nationals are paying literally thousands and thousands of dollars to those fake consultants and lawyers and whatnot. And in the end, they're getting nothing. It's your hard-earned money. You should be extra protective about it, right? So I'm just trying to really give you some realistic ideas as to what you should do before paying even $1. It's not about like $100, $200 or $1,000. Before spending $1, you should do your due diligence. So these are all the don'ts. Now, what you can really do, if at all you get a job offer from Canada, start with a good CV. This is very important. No Canadian employer want to know whether you play basketball or whether you're good at cooking if you're applying for a construction job. Remove all those flabs from your CV, right? Do not put your nice photograph on the CV. Nobody wants to know how you look. Nobody wants to know your skin color here in Canada. In fact, if somebody wants to know all those things, that is an illegal thing to do, right? If I have to hire somebody, I can easily take a phone interview. If somebody is in Canada, obviously, the first round of interview should be over the phone, and I would not really want to know how the person looks, right? Because that has nothing to do with the legal job that I would need somebody work for me for. So do not put your nice photographs on the CV. Do not try to let the potential employers know whether you can play basketball or what are your hobbies, or whether you want to do trekking or not if you're applying for a serious technical job, because those things have no place in a Canadian CV. So always start with a good CV. A good CV does not have to be a big long CV. It always will have to be crisp, very condensed form of a CV that an employer would really be interested to take a look at if that employer is hiring a foreign resource, right? So if an employer is not hiring a foreign resource, even the best CV of the world will not be able to do anything, obviously, right? Start with a good CV. If you need my professional assistance with creating a Canadian style CV, which is not only just well formatted, but also is structured enough with the required keywords for the employers to take a look at, send me an email. I'll be very happy to help you out with. But always start with a good CV. And then always try to get hold of those Canadian job sites like Indeed, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is there everywhere. And shortlist employers to see if they're hiring foreign resource. If they are, they will be interested to take a look at your CV. If they have clearly mentioned on their portal, on the job advertisement, that they are not looking to hire a foreign national, please do not bombard them with your CVs. You are sharing your personal information in an unwanted manner. And who would take care of, like for example, the privacy factor of your information? Nobody. So do not send unwanted emails. Only the employers that are hiring foreign resources would be willing to take a look at your CV if your CV is being perfected in a manner that is being appreciated here in Canada. Start with a good CV. Just see what works in Canada, what really doesn't work in Canada, and then try to approach those employers who are hiring foreign nationals, right? You really do not need an immigration consultant or a lawyer or a recruitment consultant in most cases for you to apply for a job in Canada. If you're getting hold of an immigration consultant or a recruitment consultant or anybody, and obviously immigration consultant cannot do this, if you're getting hold of an immigration consultant for your potential job search in Canada, just verify the license number and also tell them very quite categorically that you will not pay them a single dollar because they are being compensated by the employer, right? And also keep this in mind. Many of this recruitment consultant will tell you that after you get a job offer letter, you have to work with a specific consultant in order for your work permit to get approved or your or your permanent residency to get approved. This is also fraud, which means that they are not charging money from you directly. That immigration consultant, even if there is one, may be aligned with them, so they are getting their commission from that immigration consultant. Nutshell, I know it's a lot of information that I shared, but I thought it is very important to burst up all those myths, to making sure that you guys are on right track, and maybe to apply for all the non-job offer based provincial nominee programs if you are to immigrate to Canada, for example, Saskatchewan, for example, Prince Edward Island, right? Apply for all those non-job offer based provincial nominee programs. And as I've said in the previous video as well, study visa, like student visa. Study route is something that is really working these days in Canada, but obviously for that to happen, you have to be a bona fide student, you have to have your proof of fund and everything else. Guys, try to understand, getting entry to Canada, be it a visit visa, temporary resident visa, work permit, student or whatever, or your permanent residency is never easy. It wasn't never easy. It will never be easy in the future. So anybody that gives you a super easy access that, pay me the money and I'll give you a job, should ring the alarm bell in your mind. And always remember, a Canadian visa is a privilege, it's not your right. Please use it and treat it judiciously. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, let me know. If you need my professional assistant, send me an email. My email ID is contact@nuvonation.ca. I'll put it out in the description below, and I'll be more than happy to help you out with, guys. Stay safe and follow this channel. Thank you very much.